Good morning and happy Monday. It's time for some book talks. I read a couple of books this week, and then I want to talk about a book I read a couple weeks ago that we don't have in the library yet, but we should have very soon. So it's called You Have a Match by Emma Lord. We have another book by Emma Lord. It's called Tweet Cute, and it's actually super cute. But You Have a Match, they're on canoes, so it's very much sort of a Parent Trap kind of vibe from the 60s or possibly the 90s, if that's the Parent Trap you might be more familiar with. And so usually when you hear things like You Have a Match, you think about dating sites, but this is actually a DNA site. And so the entire book is about what happens when you have a DNA match that you weren't expecting. And so this young girl goes to a summer camp to sort of explore what's up, get some answers, figure out some things. I really did like it. There was some romance in it. It's a YA book, most books do. But it was secondary to the relationship between the DNA matchers, shall we say. So I really did enjoy it. You Have the Match. Like I said, we'll have it. We don't have our library money yet, so we haven't bought a big set of our first books yet, but it will be on the list. So charming as a verb. It's just so bright in here today. Romance. It's about this guy who lives in a high-rise in New York and goes to a performance academy. And this girl who lives in the high-rise, but she lives in the penthouse. His dad is a superintendent, and that's why he lives in the high-rise. So charming as a verb is actually a quote that his mother tells him when he's younger, and she says, most children are charming as an adjective, but you are charming as a verb. And he uses his charm to get through life. It works for him. His parents don't have a lot of money. The money he makes as a dog walker actually goes into the family pot to pay for bills and for groceries and things. But through the book, he makes a colossal blunder. And he's got to spend some time dealing with those consequences. I actually did like that there were consequences. Sometimes in books it sort of gets swept under the rug and you're like, okay. But the relationship between these two was fantastic. And the whole idea that you can live in the same building with someone for ages and ages and not ever really know them, and then something changes. Blackmail, just in case you're wondering, it was blackmail is what changed. And get to know them. I just really enjoyed it. It did take me a minute to read, though, because there was nothing pulling the plot. It's not a mystery. It wasn't a high-paced thriller. There was not even a lot of romantic tension, so it took me a minute to pick it up. That was not the case with this one. The Initial Insults. It's in mystery. It's book 1 of 2. Book 2 doesn't come out till next year. It's about two best friends who, as children, were inseparable until one night, one of the best friends wants to go home early. And as Tress's parents take Felicity home, something happens. What's interesting is the book is told in 3 perspectives. So Tress, Felicity, and the cat. It took me a minute to wrap my head around what the cat was, but it was terrifying once I figured it out. And in fact, the book ends on such a note. I wouldn't say abruptly. It was probably an appropriately stop to be continued line. The entire book I was like, and the last couple of chapters I just flew through because it was horrifying. The amount of blood that was happening in the last couple of chapters. It's just, my heart pounds just thinking about it. So if you like a mystery that has a lot of blood and a point of view from a cat who happens to be a panther, this is the book for you. I definitely am going to read the next one because I have to find out what happens. But, whew. So, one of the reviews on the back said, if Edgar Allan Poe wrote a high school murder mystery. I'm like, I feel like that's accurate. So, if you're interested, it's in the library. It's here. It's ready to go. It's heart-pounding and it's terrifying. And what's happening? Oh my goodnessness. Yeah, okay. I'm going to have to think about something else to keep my heart from racing right now. I hope you guys have a good week, and I'll see you soon.